So welcome back everyone. How are you guys all doing? What were you able to grow this year? How are your gardens and your farms doing? I hope they are doing well. So in this video, basically where I live, the official farming season or growing season is winding down. So a lot of harvest is going on right now. Some people have finished harvesting, some people are in the process of harvesting, and many, like myself, are in the process of drying and storage, making sure that whatever it is that we harvested is kept in good condition so it will last as long as possible. So if you have been a member of this channel or a subscriber, you will know how it all started. As you can see here, we started at the very beginning of the planting season, although I planted a bit late. So we started by first of all tilling the land, making the ridges. So you can see right here the ridges were made, and then I went ahead to sow my seeds. So in this video, I've made videos about my journey. You can check it out on the channel, but in this video I wanted to talk about the lessons I learned, because I realized that in farming, every new season, in farming or gardening, every season you learn something new, and you will do well to hold on to whatever it is that you learned, so that in the next farming season or the next time you have an opportunity to grow or plant, you apply said knowledge. So in this video I just wanted to talk about some of the things I learned and then the plans for the next growing season. It's not as if I will not be growing anything at all, as in during this period. After resting, I'll still grow things, maybe in containers, and then get ready. That's another important thing I learned in farming or growing. There is a time, you don't have to always be out and about growing things. There is a time to get ready for the actual farming or growing. That time you might not be on the farm, but you are somewhere, maybe at home, getting ready for the next growing season. For example, during this growing season, I saw the need for the more use of chicken manure, it's organic fertilizer in the form of chicken manure or goat feces manure from goat feces. So in this outgoing growing season, I didn't have enough. So I have learned that lesson to start gathering on time, so that I'll be able to apply it to some of the crops I needed more. I also learned that it's not all the crops that need the organic manure much, and it's not all the crops that really need the chemical manure. So as it is right now, we're in the month of November, entering December, quite in a very short while. I've already started gathering, looking for where to gather chicken manure and organic manure so I can dry them properly and store them properly. Not waiting for the last minute or the rush hour where I might end up with substandard manure. So you can see, this is something I learned in this past season. I'm already correcting it against the next season, and God willing, it will turn out fine. As it is right now, I think I have already gathered almost a full bag, and that is how I'll keep on gathering until the time comes. So another thing I also learned, okay, in this video, this is me. Another thing I also learned is that apart from the crops I grow, there are other things that are also growing wild in the bush or in the field right there, as you can see here. I didn't actually notice this. Is the day I went with my kids, and children running around playing, they now found out and showed me. So some people call it gathering, just like our ancestors used to do in the olden days. So I've learned to also look out for things that I can gather, some nutritious fruits and vegetables that I can gather from the field, apart from the ones that I grew. I also noticed there were some guava plants there which I never noticed because I was too busy working in my own plants. So that is another lesson that I have learned. Look out for other things. Look around you. There are many things that you can get from your farm. So moving on, this season I also decided to try out some new things that next season, God willing, I intend to grow on a larger scale. So every farmer will always tell you that when you're growing something for the first time, you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. So this growing season, after planting my soya beans, of course, and corn, whatever it is I planted, the germination rate will not be 100%. There will still be empty patches. So those empty patches, I ended up filling them up with these experimental ones that I wanted to check out how they will do. So against next year. So as you can see right here, one of those I experimented with was okra plants. So you can see this is just a first harvest, and I ended up harvesting about 2 or 3 more times. So I filled up those empty spaces with these experimental crops and then watched to see how they performed. And then from all of the ones I tried, I now pick out the ones that did the best, and that is what I'm going with, in addition to the ones I'm already used to growing next year by God's grace. So the crops that I tried out, as you watch on, you see them are okra, chilies, or what we call shombo over here, finger millet. These are the 3 that I experimented with. So you can see here, this is the finger millet. The finger millets are actually transplanted them from somebody's nursery. As I was looking for things to fill up the empty spaces, luckily my neighboring farm next to me had nursery seedlings that he was willing to dispose of. So I collected them and sowed them directly into the empty spaces on my farm. If you check out the channel, you see a video or in the shorts feed, you see a video where I showed how I was sowing them. I applied organic manure, and then the finger millets grew. So as you can see here, these are my peppers. It's true, I did not mention pepper. Sorry guys. Okay, I mentioned it's chilies, right? Yeah, chilies. The chilies surprised me, really. They really did well. The chilies really did well. I harvested these chilies 4 times, and I ended up drying some of them. So next year, this is one of the things that I'm sure I will be putting even in larger quantity on my farm. And that's next year by God's grace, because the chilies were hardy. I also planted green peppers, but they were very, very delicate. They did not survive, but the chilies, they did really well. I planted only one single ridge of chilies, and I really enjoyed a bumper harvest. I don't know if there's a video of how to show you the quantity that I was able to harvest, and I harvested it 4 times. So that is, you can see this season I experimented with them on a small scale. The ones that did not do were the ones I lost. They were not very painful because I was experimenting. That was not my hope. I have already planted the main crop that I'm used to growing. Like as you can see here, my Wawa Mata beans, you can see them, they are doing well. I'm used to growing it, so that is what I came to grow. My corn, my soya beans, my groundnuts, all those ones, I am used to growing them, so they were like already guaranteed while I was busy experimenting with these ones. So come next year, by God's grace, I am going to go ahead and grow them on an even larger scale. So even during the process of the season, I also put an eye out, observing my neighbors, the neighboring farms, and also learned quite a few things on how to grow these plants even better. That's, my friends, is one of the characteristics of a good farmer. You open your eyes, you ask questions. You open your eyes, you observe what the people are doing. If it's something you like, you ask, how was this thing achieved? And then to see if it is something that you can apply on your own farmland. So another thing I also learned in this farming season is pre-arrangement of transportation. Because if your farm is not close to where you are, transportation can eat up a large chunk of your capital. That is one thing people don't know, because you need to transport things to the farm. You might not realize that at the beginning, but as time goes on, you realize that there are things that you need to transport to the farm regularly, like your manure, your fertilizers. You'll be amazed at how bulky those such things can be. Your instruments, even the harvest. That is one of the costliest things to transport from the farm, your actual harvest. Like when I harvested my soybeans, it was so bulky that bringing it back home from the farm was proving to be an uphill task. So even before the farming season starts, you think about it, how transportation it is going to be. You look around for people that have vehicles like this Hilux pickup vans. They are very, very good for transporting such things. You look around and see, so that you will not be stranded, because transportation is one of the reasons why farm products that you have suffered to grow and harvest end up spoiling, because you cannot transport them on time, even to the market, or to go and start processing them. So you think about transport and make arrangements for transport even before the farming season starts, so that you will not be stranded. Because a lot of people have this attitude that farming is the cheapest business ever. It is the business that you invest next to nothing and then you reap a huge harvest. Of course, I'm here to tell you that it is not true. It is just like every other business. Just that sometimes Mother Nature smiles at you. So most people, their farms are not near their homes. Don't let anybody deceive you that their farm is next door. No. Transport is a very, very substantial input of any farmer in a given planting season. So never ever deceive yourself that taking yourself or your input or your harvest to and from the farm is an easy task. Of course, it can be easy if you already have a vehicle, but you have to factor it into your cost of production. Another thing to also prepare for is preservation, which is like the let's say the home stretch, and you have to get it right so that all your efforts will not be in vain. As you can see in this video, what is going on here, we're like threshing finger millets. So the key here is to dry it as much as possible. Drying is very, very important. Drying will save a lot of your harvest. But of course, that is only for some things. Other things you need freezing or refrigerating, especially when you have to do with vegetables. And then I, as a person, I try to shy away as much as possible from using chemicals to preserve crops. That is why I'm a big fan of drying. And then preserving crops doesn't have to be rocket science. Take as much advantage as you can of nature. As you can see what I'm doing here, I'm winnowing my finger millet. You can see, just by doing this, the wind is just blowing away the chaff. So you take advantage of nature as much as you can. After all, this is how our ancestors did this in the olden days. This is how they did the entire thing, and then they were self-sufficient in food. So take advantage of nature as much as you can. Yeah, technology is there, but then sometimes nature don't mind me. Sometimes nature knows better. So you can see, just by doing this, all the chaff has disappeared, and I'm left with my products. So that's it, guys. So I just thought I should talk to you people about in this video about making the best of the land, as it were,